Hey there, welcome to ATL and 29, a podcast that looks at the NBA from the starting point of Atlanta. My name is Kevin Chouinard. I'm here with Glenn Willis and Tyler Jones, and we are recording just a couple of minutes after the Hawks evened up their season record at one game apiece. Um, it's been an up and down season so far. Already lots and lots of twists and turns. I have no idea where to start here, really. Um, I guess maybe just start with the most recent and we can work back. What are your takeaways from this
I,
win in Orlando, Tyler?
I just before we start, it's funny. I was texting Brad Rowland, your mortal
Who?
enemy. I was texting him before the game started when he skied it on Blue Sky that Zachary Reese-Shea was going to be out. I said flat out, I was like, I will gladly trade Zachary Reese-Shea and Kristaps Porzingis being hurt if it means Mo Gueye is forced to play because that was special what he did on defense against the Magic. And my biggest takeaway, because I felt this when I was watching it against the Raptors, this Hawks team needs Mo Gueye more than I think. I think they realize this now when they saw him play. They're like, oh, defensively, this works now. When Mo is just like an absolute maniac out there, like he is they're they're not that like it's one game, but like this is what he did to end the season. Like this is what he did to end the season. He played like this in the play-in both times. And now I feel like offensively he's a lot smoother. Like it's less clunky than it was last year. He's more of a, like a professional offensive big. Now, pure play finisher, nothing special, but that's really all you need when you're this good defensively. Like to me, through the first two games, he is by far and away the team's best center. He is that's how good I feel he's played through these first two games, including the limited stretch he played the end of fourth quarter against the Raptors. The defense is just unreal. The Magic literally could not score a basket when he was in the game. Like they just could not score. They couldn't generate any positive action just because he was all over the place. Him and Okongwu, this game swung when him and Okongwu found a way to make a Vit Krejci, Luke Kennard, and I'm forgetting the third perimeter player on the floor.
Was
Then
it Keaton?
at the
No.
beginning, it might have been Keaton. Yeah, he
Yeah,
made that. He and Okongwu picked up his defense way higher in the second half. Like I don't know where that player was the first
He was in
four
foul trouble.
four and a half quarters of the season, but like that's the basketball player the Hawks need to end the game. Like, but to me, I'm like my biggest takeaway is like I don't care if it's Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Johnson, Zachary Reese-Shea, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Luke Kennard, Trey Young, even it does not matter who loses minutes. Mo Gueye needs to be in this rotation. Like he's got to play 20 plus a night. He is
Trade
too
Trey and play
good
Mo.
defensively. I mean, I, by the way, I don't know why Quinn waited so long to bring Mo back into the game. That was a little curious, um, all things considered. But hey, he finally got out there to for the last possession where he forced Bankero into a terrible shot. So, like, I don't know. I'm like my takeaway was like I'll like if KP and Ricochet, unfortunately that they're hurt, but I'm so happy that Mo's playing because he's gonna force the Hawks to be a bigger, athletic, more physical basketball team just by his presence.
Just on a Kongwu, like he was better in that second half, but like it makes sense. Like you look at the two games, he plays a whole game with basically no Dyson Daniel, and they have no containment of the dribble at all. And it's just so many holes in the boat. Like he's not going to be able to patch
yeah.
all of them and get a rebound. And then the first half, he's in foul trouble. Like it's it circumstances I think matter a little bit there for him. But
That's fair, but he's a better like he.
yeah,
My
he
only
he
point,
definitely he's
regardless,
certainly elevated for sure.
he's just a better basketball player than what he has shown the first, at least defensively. Offensively, he's actually been really good. I've
Yeah.
actually been quite impressed with a lot of the things he's doing, including that pivotal drive from the corner for layups, pure self creation from him. At the end of the shot clock, like that was pretty impressive. So like he's been really good. I've been super impressed offensively. It's just the defense. I've seen Okongwu play way better defense than what he has shown to begin the season, and and something actually I want to bring up, like the Hawks big should not be afraid of foul trouble because they have real depth at the position. Like shout out to Asa Newell. They don't win this game without him. And he did exactly what you would want from this fifth type big. Pure energy. He brought pure energy. He was all and he played under control, didn't try to force anything. He played within the offense. And while defensively, he was just being an athlete. And like for 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes a night, if you got to throw something out there like Asa Newell to really get the juices flowing for this team, like Quinn should not hesitate to do that. I felt bad for Nafali though. I thought defensively he was actually pretty good. It it,
I
it,
mean, that
it
that
just
was a lot. They were asking him
yeah,
and Mo to cover for Veet, Luke,
yeah.
and
I think
Trey. Like
yeah,
that is a
I
big
think
job.
and defensively I thought defensively wasn't the problem. It was
No,
just his
yeah,
offense. I think his offense he was just
doesn't know. Yeah,
I don't think he was comfortable. Like to me, I just don't think he was comfortable with what the Hawks were doing, and like it's completely understandable. Like I don't know how much practice some of these guys have had with each other. Uh, One thing that alarmed me was when Mo was talking a couple of days ago when he was like, "Yeah, because somebody asked him about Porzingis, like, yeah, I haven't actually played next to Porzingis, but he's very tough guard." And I'm like, wait a minute, practice next to Porzingis, and I'm like, that makes no sense to me. That makes no sense. Like I felt when watching a comp just bring that. I'm sorry to ramble, to bring it back, but
he's
I'm really
excited.
I wanna harp in on Mo Gueye here because like I felt this when Porzingis and Okongwu were out there together against the Raptors. They're just not dynamic athletically enough against big physical lineups of what Raptors were throwing out. I think they can work fine against you know, more skilled oriented teams that aren't relying on athleticism and physicality to make to bridge the gap from a lack of shooting perspective. I just don't think they have like I don't think those two together have the foot speed, even though it's a short sample size, but like it's just based on the because when Quinn goes double big, he's often playing bad perimeter defenders, and like I didn't like how that meshed in the first game, and that lineup in particular got destroyed against the Raptors. So really, I'm just glad this game happened early in the season so that we don't have to wait for 20 games in the year for like Quinn to all right, I'm gonna try Mo now. Like no, Mo needs to be playing every night, 25 minutes.
Whoa, that's a big number. Okay, Glenn, you have waited your turn and then some. You could talk about this game. You could talk about anything you want. What do you want to know? Uh-oh, did we lose Glenn?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully you lost. All right, we don't have Glenn. Um, I mean, I don't know where else to go with this. Like, okay, here's one for you, Tyler. On a scale from 1 to 10, how nervous should I be about Luke Kennard at this point?
He's struggling to even get his shot off right now. Like it just feels like he's too small on offense, and so that they can't really go to him. And then defensively, it's pretty bad. So it's early though, and I think Quinn. I do. To me, I think if Mo Gueye is playing again, I hate to bring it back to Mo Gueye, but if Mo is playing, he would make Luke Kennard's life a little bit easier. You'll get defensive stops, you'll get defensive rebounds, you're able to play in transition. Now all of a sudden, Luke Kennard is a massive like problem when he's playing with an advantage. And I really do feel that's why I'm like, yeah, 25 minutes because like Mo makes I think Mo's going to make a lot of guys' life a lot easier. Like Jalen, Trey, Onyeka, like Zach. Like I think he's going to make this team's life a lot easier just because of the lineups you're able to play, the size and length you're able to have when he's in the game, and just his activity. Like I think he's gotten even better. Like he was guarding Franz Wagner too. Like it was Franz, Paolo, the point guard, the center. It is legitimate 1 through 5 elite defender. That's somebody they've got to see what they. To me, I'm like, I don't care. They got to see what they have in Mo Gueye more than just what they thought they had. He's the emergency big if there's injuries. Like they got to push. To that was that was too good defensively, and he's been doing that since the end of last year.
Orlando's trying to run through Desmond Bain. He's dealing with Dyson Daniels. He can't get anywhere, can't do anything with the ball, right? So that's problem number one there. Suggs is not real. Suggs is not a point guard, right? Um, so one team could run offense, one team couldn't. Now, I think that was really the difference in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. How do you feel about Mo Gueye? Like, is he should he be an every night lock?
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally. And they're down 10, 14, 16 points. And that gets to 25 if Mo Gueye's not playing in the second and third quarter. I mean, they get completely out of reach that game. Mo Gueye just kind of helped them hold the line, not getting much past 14 or so. And so, I mean, he was phenomenal tonight. He was phenomenal tonight, and I agree, he needs to play. Quinn's trying to figure out how to carve up the minutes in a way that makes sense. But I mean, defensively, he was easily the best player. Tyler's exactly right. Obviously, Dyson made a bunch of big plays in the fourth quarter too, just containing the ball, his ball containment, getting deflections and things like that. But I mean, yeah, they don't win this game without what Mo did.
Yeah, I was just asking Tyler. I'm not sure you could hear us. Like, how worried should I be about Luke Kennard at this point? And I think, to me, I guess I'm a little bit worried about his offense. Like, just how does he find the spaces to get his shots up? But at least certainly defenses are respecting him, and that's changing the opportunities for his teammates. But defensively, I think I want Dyson on the floor like almost every second that Luke plays. Like I think that's just really important. Like maybe Kennard is playing 20 minutes a game. Well, like can you rejigger the rotation so that Dyson is out there for those minutes? Because I think it's just different when the ball is contained. I don't want him in these open floor situations where he's got to, try to stop somebody that has had a runway to get going, and all of a sudden, Luke's the back line of defense for somebody with a head start. Like they need to, the Hawks need to be the aggressors on defense and not the reactors, because if Kennard's out there as a reactor instead of in a situation where the Hawks can kind of be aggressive just because Dyson is leading that charge, like it's just not going to work because anytime somebody's kind of going downhill at Kennard, it's over like every single time.
Yeah, but that's just a that's kind of been known about Luke though. To be fair, like
Well, I
at least
know,
on the
but that's
defensive
why I
end.
want Dyson out there with him. Like I think that just makes a
Y-
massive difference.
Yeah, I think Quinn's got to figure some stuff out with his guard rotation just in general. Um, I'll say this: I thought Keaton was a lot better tonight than he was in game one, but he can't get caught where he's playing V Krejci next to Luke Kennard, and that should like never happen. I don't, even though they're just too unathletic. Now, I will say I thought Veet was a lot better in the fourth quarter. Again, it helps that
Mm-hmm.
Okongwu and Mo picked it way up defensively, but like Veet was a lot more grounded and he contained the ball a lot better than what he was doing to begin his stint in the first half. So maybe they can get some repetition. But like the bigger issue with Luke to me is his offense. Like, and he needs to be set up so that he can have an advantage. Once he gets an advantage, he's very good at keeping it and then being efficient scorer and finishing. But if you're throwing out a lineup of V, Luke Kennard, and Keaton Wallace, where's the creation? You know, you're asking, Luke's got to be the creator. That's not his game. That is not his game. So that's where it's like Quinn's got to be a little bit pieced together where he can play Luke. Not to say he's just got to be smarter with how he handles the rotation. He can't get caught throwing a bunch of non-creators next to Luke and be like, "All right, Luke, you're the guy." Because I mean, we even saw it in the fourth quarter where he completely like just left Mo Gueye out to dry on a basic give and go action. Like Luke wanted no part of the ball because he was being pressured, and it's like, yeah, he struggles with that with athleticism, size, and length. Like, so I just think Quinn's got to be smarter with how he utilizes it.
Yeah, I was curious tonight if Jalen's not in foul trouble, do they run like a good bit of that offense through Jalen instead? I think the foul trouble kind of threw the rotation kind of off track in terms of what we normally see. Because like last year, a lot before Jalen went down with his injury, they ran a lot of the second unit offense through Jalen as sort of point forward style or forward creator, that kind of thing. So I wonder if that is something that we'll see more regularly going forward is run through Jalen. Because it's weird to me that they're letting Keaton initiate the offense. That's a little bit weird to me. But I don't know what the alternative is on this roster.
What do you make of what you've seen from Jalen Johnson through two games?
I mean, he was really aggressive in game one. I to myself, on Wednesday, they lose that game by 40 points if it's not for Jalen. I mean, Jalen's the only one that really kind of kept them, and they never really got back in contact. But yeah, I thought he was very, very good then. I thought he was struggling with acclimating to the way that the game was being officiated differently tonight. Right. And on Wednesday, they were letting you do all sorts of stuff at the point of attack, push, grab, hold, tug, all that sort of stuff. Tonight, they were calling everything. And so for me, I felt like part of it was just kind of he needs to learn how to um, figure out in the first 2, 3 minutes of a game what's the baseline the officials were using, what are they letting you get away with, what are they not letting you get away with, and I think that was kind of what kind of got him into a little bit of trouble tonight. But I mean, he's attacking space, he's attacking seams. I think that's good. He's being more physical on his drives, way more physical than he was last year on his drives, and I think that's good. So I mean, I think he's gonna have a really good year. But I also he also hasn't played basketball, in a while
Yeah.
up until about 3 weeks ago. And so I wonder if he feels like still finding that rhythm, kind of getting to the flow of the game is a thing that might take a little time for him. But I mean, I think he's been good. I think he's been really good.
Tyler?
Yeah, game one, he was incredible. I if that's not the best game of his career, like I don't know if just based on the opponent that he was going up against, like the Raptors exclusively played him against size, and he was just going right through those guys, and so like he was really impressive. Now I will say this, um, part of the transition defensive issues were because he was running the offense. And it felt like game two, they went to Trey running the offense. And like it just felt like the court mapping was a lot better, right? So that if there's a missed shot, they're able to get back in transition properly. Like I just think it was a more professional, NBA like game one, they were all over the place with transition defense. So it was I was at the game. I didn't understand what those guys were doing once the shot went up and the ball was missed. Like they just weren't tracking back to their men. And so like I think Trey is just a better. I mean, he's a real point guard. He's just a way better organizer, understanding that it's more than just scoring, offensively. You also have to be ready to get back on defense and be set up properly. So I think Trey running the show a little bit more settled the Hawks in defensively, so they get into the flow of the game. Like the Raptors game, it's weird to say. Like they just never were able to get into a rhythm because they would miss a shot and then like it'd be a layup on the other end automatically. And so like I just think I think game two you saw more of Trey running the offense a little bit more. And that's where Jalen's got to find a nice balance. I like some of the shots he took in the mid range in particular against the Magic. I know he wasn't as efficient, and he's not looking to take threes right now, which I'm a little worried about. But like overall, I thought he was considering he was in supreme foul trouble, where I don't quite understand what they were calling against him against Paolo in particular, but uh, I thought he was okay in game two. Game one, he was absolutely electric.
Yeah, to me, when I look at it, like he's done some really good things on offense. Like Glenn was saying, he's playing with physicality, and he's done so in a way that teams have to give him two bodies. Like that, you can't get away with one body on him. And he's channeled it perfectly in that sense that he knows how to play. He knows how and when to play with the physicality and do it in such a way that teams just simply cannot get away with one player guarding him. And now he's gone one step above that, I think, in a way that he hasn't in his entire career. He sees the floor. Like he knows where players are going to be. He knows where the pass is supposed to be. And that's like incredible. That's like a super like dangerous combination for the rest of the league if he can do that. I'm just sort of slightly worried about like maybe like everything else. Like anytime he doesn't have the ball or isn't guarding the ball, he seems just a little bit off. Like the transition defense stuff. Like I think there are a lot of things that go into the transition defense stuff. Part of it, I think, is just him not recognizing, not being quick. It's got to happen now, and people are beating him down the floor. I don't think
Yeah.
he's like communicating with his teammates super well in transition defense. Um,
But I think that goes to, Glenn's point. Like, it's been a while since he's played NBA basketball.
oh yeah, oh of course, no,
So,
those go hand in hand, no,
yeah.
without a doubt. And so yeah, there's time for those things to get better. I don't think these are necessarily permanent things by any stretch. I think they're very, very related. I think they go. I think it's exactly that reason. And so, a big part of the Hawks season is going to come down to how quickly does he adjust here. What else am I missing here? Like the Porzingis news, is there stuff that we can say here with this? Is it just wait and see? Like what? I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, me
Well,
neither. Yeah.
uh, what that he was out for a flu-like sickness. Is there something else?
No, that's it. I guess the only thing that I would add to it is like, the one thing that I'm slightly concerned about is that, watching that Toronto game that he did play, I thought he was pretty good in the first half. Like I thought he's, rewatching it, like I thought he did exactly what they needed him to do in the first half, and then I feel like it slipped in the second half. And I don't know if that was a fatigue thing, an illness thing, whatever, but to me that was slightly concerning that it sort of dipped from first half to second half.
Well, he has. I don't think we talked about this on the pod, but there was either a New York, yeah, I think it was a New York Times or Athletic. I
Yeah,
mean,
New
it's
York
just
Times Athletic, they're
Fred
kind of
Cat
hand
Fred
in hand.
Fred Katz wrote
Yep.
a definitive piece on what the illness that Porzingis had, which is POTS,
Hmm.
which I don't know the exact terminology of POTS, but long story short, it's a chronic condition. There's really no, you can dull the symptoms, but there's no way to cure what he has. So he's going to have these fatigue problems. And he probably has a weaker immune system, you know, um, not necessarily because of POTS, or it could be because of POTS. I'm not sure. So I think if you're a Hawks fan, like he's probably going to miss game. Knew he already knew off top that he was going to miss plenty of games. He was never going to play 82. But I do think the Hawks are probably going to have to be careful with him in ways in game. I think it's less about sitting back to backs or anything like that. Because like physically, I don't see a problem with him. I think it's an in-game issue, especially with the pace the Hawks play with. Quinn's going to have to be I think he's going to have to play him in shorter stints and try to kind of he's going to have to eyeball it on a game by game basis. Is kind of what I'm saying here. Like I don't because I'm with you. Like that second half, like he was not the same guy defensively at least. Offensively, I mean he can make a shot at any point anywhere on the floor, but like defensively, it just wasn't the same. And he like and so like I just think they're going to have to monitor like a lot his condition during the game. Like I don't know how they're going to do that. But somebody they just have to understand that hey, this is a real like condition. Like I mean, the symptoms are pretty. Like the heart rate just goes up just from standing up. Like that's tough. Like and there's nothing you can really say about it. But he's a taller guy, and weird things happen with that. So I just think it's going to be on Quinn and the coaching staff and the training staff to like kind of play it by ear. Now I don't think this flu could just be he just got the flu. I mean,
I mean,
it
flu-like
has got
symptoms doesn't mean that he got the flu either. I mean,
yeah, true. It has gotten colder. I've been feeling a little sicker as well. So, it could just be that just that time of the year. So hopefully the Hawks just they got to hope for the best here because like there's no cure. He can dull the symptoms, but like this is just going to be a problem for the rest of his career.
okay, tell me if I'm crazy here or not. I've loved watching Nikhil these first couple of games, but I do think that part of the issue with the transition defense is that he's not necessarily taking shots that his teammates expect, whether it's, shooting too early. I think on some of these drives, I think his teammates are expecting driving kicks like Kennard, like, hey, I'm open here at the elbow for a three. Is it getting kicked to me? And he's kind of overweighting the pass that never comes because Nikhil's trying a difficult shot at the rim. Do you think that over time this is going to blend out a little bit and smooth out so that he's playing maybe a little bit more within the flow of the offense? What do you think, Glenn?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a good processor, and he's a very coachable player. And on this last episode, Kevin at the very end talked about how different Quinn's offensive scheme is from what they did in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
So, and wants back at the 3-point break, either DH or pick and roll. He wants someone flashing, and it's something that's brand new to him. So he'll get there. He's a smart player. He'll get there.
What do you
I'll
think,
say
Tyler?
this: first game he was way out of control. Right? He was not. The thing is, he was just attacking for attacking's sake to me. This game, particularly in the second half, um, he was kind of electric. I'm like he was, and granted, he was guarded by weaker defenders, and he was absolutely abusing those guys from the Magic. When a weaker guard was on him, he was taking them right to the front of the rim. I actually skeeted that Nikhil Alexander Walker was getting his DeJounte Murray on. Like it was very now he was getting all the way to the rim, but he was mixing in some mid rangers too. Like he looked very good doing that. Reminded me of his cousin a little bit. Not as efficient, but not he's got to find. I think he's exploring the space, right? I think the Hawks clearly told him that he was going to get an opportunity to play with the ball in his hands way more than what he did in Minnesota. And so he's just got to find a better. I do think he has to find a better balance. But like again, some of those drives that he had, I mean, the drives that he had, particularly when he was guarded by bad defenders, like I'm like, okay, this is the type of stuff that you can stagger Trey with, and so that you can keep the train, the train tracks rolling. Because when Trey is left the game against Toronto, it was a complete disaster. Game two was a lot better. Granted, they were catching the Magic in bad matchups, and so like I think to me Nikhil just has to be a little bit more smarter in his process. Though I don't hate the aggression. I don't hate his quick trigger on these 3 pointers. I think his teammate it's on his teammates to recognize the unpredictability in his game a little bit better, and figure out that he does have a fast trigger. He's looking to score the ball as well. You got to be ready to get back, make or miss. So I just think overall, like some of these issues are a function of guys have not played real NBA games with each other as well. So like I think there's a variety of things going on. It's going to take some time to really figure some stuff out.
Um, you know, I try to come up with some decent questions here, but is there anything else from the past week that you want to talk about that we haven't really talked about yet?
I want to talk about Trey for a bit. It's only 2 games, but like the defense, particularly in the second half against the Toronto Raptors, was very disappointing to me. Granted, I think he kind of just gave up the rope a little bit, but uh, he was a lot better against the Magic, way better.
Yes.
But the problem is his offense isn't good enough right now. Like offensively, uh, I don't think he's getting open behind the 3 point line in ways that'll make him more efficient. Just to be plain, like I think he's taking a lot of contested 3 pointers because he has to, and that's fine. But he's not getting open behind the 3 point line as much as I would like to see from him, particularly off ball. Now he had a great look. They ran a great play with Jalen to get him a wide open 3 point that he just missed. What I'm saying is I need to see more of that. He's got to be electric on offense to make any of this work. And I think he's been I'm not saying he's been bad on offense, but the standard is higher for somebody of Trae Young's caliber. And through 2 games, he hasn't met that standard to me. Again, he hasn't been bad. I'm just saying he hasn't met the standard.
Do you guys think part of the issue is last year he literally had to do everything when he's on the floor every minute? And now he has more tools, he has more, shooting around him, he has some secondary creation. And is it maybe he needs to find the balance between not having no longer having to do everything, but I feel like sometimes I watch them play and I feel like is the ball out of his hands too much? I mean,
Yes,
yeah. So that's where I think part of the issue is.
but that goes to the point where it's like, okay, like Trae and Luke kind of have similar issues where if the
Yeah,
ball's not in Trae's hands, they got to find better ways to be more of a problem for defenses,
yeah.
so that they can generate open looks for themselves and hopefully for their teammates. Again, I thought in the fourth quarter he was a lot better. I mean, but again, Trey had his legs and he was kind of going to work. And again, credit to Mo Gueye. I, I, I want to bring this back up. Mo forced the Magic into playing bad defensive lineups because they literally could not score. They had to get bad defensive players that made Trey's life a lot easier because they were able to find the bad defender and attack him constantly. And he was able to get in a better rhythm and kind of carry this team offensively in the fourth quarter to win the game. So I just think I think overall, um, he's got like again the Hawks are playing a lot differently, and he's got to find better ways to attack basically when he's particularly when he's off ball. He's got to be more of a threat. He's got to be way more of a threat than what he's shown to be currently.
What are you looking forward to tomorrow night when they play the Thunder?
It's gonna be a tough test. Thunder, obviously, good team. Um, it'll be interesting to see how they if they take a different approach to try to contain Shea. If if Dyson plays all the minutes Shea plays, is that how it goes? Or do they throw a little bit more at him, second defender, force the ball to his hands, make secondary guys create things like that? So they have more capable defenders this year than they had last year. And so I'm interested to see number one who's playing tomorrow. Is Kristaps playing? Is Zach playing? I don't know how to expect what Zach's time this time is going to end up being. But yeah, I mean they because you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you don't necessarily have to have Dyson on every minute Shea's on. You can, mix it up and throw a couple of different people at him. But the main thing for me is how do you deal with Shea? And if you can do that successfully, then you give yourself a chance to win the game. But I mean, OKC is like Toronto; they will foul you on every possession, and they know the refs aren't going to call every single foul. And it's a little bit
Three
brutal to
games in a
watch.
row.
But yeah, it's three in a row like that. So, but the Hawks can't get overly distracted by that. They got to stay on task, even if that's how it's going. So yeah, should be an interesting test for them.
I will say the Hawks actually do have the physical size advantage against the Thunder, especially with if Jalen Williams is still out. I'm not sure what his status is, but like they do have the physical advantage. And so let's see how they're able to really attack that on the offensive and defensive side of the floor.
Very good. I just want to say, since we're in the final minute here, I loved everything that Zachary did in game one until he hurt his ankle. Like, I'm just excited to see him this season. Like,
Agreed.
he looks
Agreed.
so good at this point. All right, man, it's coming fast and furious. There's going to be lots of games and already ups and downs. So I guess we say goodnight, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Thanks, folks.